and praying. You cannot intellectualize a devil. Can't do it. You can't teach a devil. You can't have this didactical debate with a devil. You must either rebuke the devil or cast him out. Look at somebody tell me, the enemy ain't nothing to be played with. See, you play with a thing too much, that thing will rise up and bite you after a while. You don't discipline your child like you should do after a while. You got to help me on this one here. Somebody said if you don't discipline them when they're young, they're going to beat you when you get old. Somebody say you can't play with these kids.
That's right.
Those who have been unable to destroy Samson by themselves engaged a weapon of mass destruction. She don't look like it, but touch her neighbor and tell them she is. And the truth is, Samson never saw this coming. Truth is that even when he's in a lot, he doesn't see it coming. He gets involved with this woman, and the Bible says this boy who is the promise of an angel. He's the fulfillment to the desire of his mother and father's prayers. But this boy, the Bible says, he's been successful, by the way. I can't hear nobody in here. He's up to this point, he's already done what men could not have done, and that's jumping in and out of beds. You have to help me on this. He slew the lion. This man had taken animals and consumed them and tied their tails together and set them on fire. Put them into the fields. He's done it all. Jumping in and out of the wrong bed. Matter of fact, he's become so complacent in it, he does not even understand there's a conspiracy. He hears of the gay side and he engaged the men surrounding him. They don't faze him. Get up as I've always done. Bear the strength of God. 2 chapters earlier, Mom and Daddy said don't do it. He did it anyway. Matter of fact, he even testified about it to them. When they said don't marry them women, he said, oh, but they give me pleasure. Like them church girls. They please me. Touch a neighbor and tell him, every woman he chose was the wrong woman. Catch this. Because Lucifer knew his weakness, Samson is not tested in other areas. He's only tested in the place where he can be destroyed. Somebody holler, man, I'm talking about the lay brother, the lay sister. I'm talking about man of God. When he got out the first bed, he was still strong. He's so arrogant now that he leaves the prostitute's bed, demonstrates an act of divine strength. And then the text immediately tells us in chapter 16, verse number 4, and it came to pass afterward that he got him another lover. Goes down to the valley, but they named this girl. That's right. And the name is Delilah. Now watch this. Watch this. Gotta watch this. Watch this. Somebody holler, watch this. The first woman he found. The second woman, the prostitute, he found. But Delilah, she sinned. Didn't catch that. Somebody didn't catch that. See, your enemy knows what to send you. I can guarantee you how Lucifer's going to work. He's going to find the source of your strength. Delilah didn't just show up. She didn't come on her own. This time, even though he has revealed the source of his strength, he's numb to what he has done. You better be careful about coming to church over and over and over and over and over and over, hearing truth and becoming desensitized to the Spirit of the Lord. I know what he's going to say. He done been to that text before. He done preached that before. And they go down the road and wait on it. Because all they want is some gravy. They're going to help you in here today. This time, she calls for the Philistines. I got it now. My assignment as the terminator is complete. See, he may give up, but I ain't never given up. See, that text that says Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and forever shall be. There's another version of that. It's in the Kershaw Bible. It says Satan the same yesterday, today, and forever shall be. He doesn't stop. You may stop with the things that keep you consecrated. But he ain't going to stop until you are terminated. He doesn't play with rubber bullets. He's out to kill, destroy, and steal your destiny. Text says, this time, however, can you imagine him just laying in a lap? He ain't got to be attentive in the spirit to hear him. Because his spirit has become desensitized. He don't even see this coming. This time, when she calls for the Philistines, he hears. But he's already heard it 3 times. This time, he jumps up like he had done in times past. But this time, when he goes to break the ropes, nothing happens. You know, this guy, I can imagine if he was in the sanctified church today. He jump up and get a little dance. Then don't feel nothing, get a little some dance. Then get a little more dance. And sometimes we get louder in the noise level, but that don't mean that you got power. See, real worshipers know it's not about the volume. It's about the connection. Some of you Apple folk are like this. You know, you like me. You buy an iPhone, and the charger they give you to the iPhone will not sustain a charge in an iPad Pro. You can be plugged in and watch the battery drain because the wattage is not enough to charge the device. Some of y'all are plugged into the church when you ought to be plugged into heaven. And you can only survive for a season when you're plugged into the wrong wattage. The text says this. Watch this. I promise you will do it. The text says he jumps up like he had done it other times, expecting the same results. He shook himself and nothing happened. He's led then into captivity because sin will always bring you down. While in captivity, they pluck his eyes so he can't see now. They take away the source that they thought. If he doesn't have the eyes, he's no threat anymore.
Preach the word, sir.
Rises this day, but then Delilah shows up. Delilah ain't been there before. Delilah hasn't been sent before. Delilah has not shown up because God does it for or allows it for a specific time and a specific purpose. So he meets this girl. Doesn't understand that this girl who is embodying his experience with other women is not like other women. She looks like them. She makes his heart feel like them. But she is a deadly assassin. He doesn't even know that she has got him in her triggers. But her arms look like this. She welcomes him into her life. And sometimes we don't see it because our Delilahs might be a cigarette, a crack cocaine, a job we ain't got no business taking because it keeps us from the place we ought to be in God. For once, there's a name and there's a mission. Her name is Delilah, and her mission is to terminate. Look at somebody and tell them your life's in danger and you don't even know it. Satan never offers you something to possess that in fact you don't want to have. You had a problem, I guarantee you he's going to come test you with that. If you are a former alcoholic, I promise you, you're going to get tested with some alcohol. No sense to get saved and go to the club talking about you're going to witness. Go somewhere and get delivered first. Catch this, catch this, catch this. I promise you I'm trying to close. I know I'm long. Sex was never the issue. It was never the issue with Delilah. Can I say that again? It was never the issue with Delilah because that wasn't going to cause him to stop going to church. That wasn't going to cause him to suddenly violate his Nazarene vow. He'd already had sex. Kept on doing what he was doing. She, however, was the manifestation of this methodical conspiracy that had some lethal ramifications behind it. The Bible says that the Philistines gave her instruction, enticing. That's his area of weakness. Enticing. To tell you the source of the strength. The prostitute couldn't get to it. But she's on assignment. She ain't trying to have her heart feel good about this relationship. She's on assignment. She's not trying to make Samson feel good about himself. She's on assignment. Her assignment was seducing. Entice him to tell you the source of his strength. It wasn't sex. And he never saw it coming. natural was what he'd always done in the natural and stood up. Each time, preached the saints into a fit. And then went back to bed. I'm trying to talk about what happens in the real world. Cusses folk out. Takes his collar off. When he puts it back on, he's a holy man of God. Tell you something about God. It's not our gifts. It's not our skills. It's not our talent. It is the grace of God.
My God.
She's giving instructions. Entice him, and when you entice him, get him to tell you the source of the stress. He never knows that this lethal weapon has been formed to take his life out. So watch the text. In what I did not read, when you go to verse 6, she says, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to do what? Afflict thee. People ain't going to tell you when they try to kill you. They're going to help me in here. When they smile in your face, as the songwriter says, don't say that. Y'all gonna make me go to another message here tonight. Watch. What's the key to your strength? Obedience. She gets him to stop following instructions. She's under orders, but she don't want you under orders. So she entices him. Tell me the source of that strength. Now notice what Samson does. He doesn't come out and all the way go to the club. Because there's still some church in here. He didn't come out and just deny everything God has done for him. But the text says, he says to her, if you bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak and as other men. And if you do this, I'm not unique anymore. And she then heeds the instructions that he did and tells the Philistines concerning this thing. And she cries out, Samson! The Philistines be upon thee. And he jumps up and breaks the bow. Now she got an issue because he don't know it. It's amazing how that occurs. You can be in the wrong relationship, cheating with the wrong person, and then when they lie, you get in deep. Secondly, he says to her, bind me with new ropes that have never been occupied. And then, I shall be weak as other man. She cries out again, Samson! The Philistines be upon him. He jumps up again because he jumped up from a prostitute's bed to lift the gates of the city. What? Will some ropes be? And breaks the ropes. But notice, every time he responds to her, he gets closer to the true source of his strength. Because Satan knows he may not get you on round one. folk are bringing to the church now.
Yeah.
No. That oil that says you can be a man with a man.
My God.
What y'all say? That's some false oil.
Come on, Bishop.
So now gets you. Well, if it ain't a woman, maybe I'll be a woman that ain't mine.
Wow.
Gets to play with your mind on degrees of truth. She then heeds what he says, takes the little ropes, ties him up, and cries again, Samson, the Philistines be upon you. And he breaks them as he has done all the time.
Yeah. Jesus.
He says to her, because you know, Samson's a game player.
Right.
He's a player. You want to stay in the right place with this girl. Lays his head back in the laps of her lap.
My Lord.
And says, if you just weave the locks, take my strength.
My Lord.
Mine is getting closer.
Exactly.
Not to the hair, but to the vow associated with the hair. It's not the hair that was a source of his strength. The hair was only the sign of his commitment to the vow. If he stays committed, the hair doesn't get cut. It's a sign of his commitment.
You preaching good, sir.
Finally, she bubbled.
Yeah.
I'm about to lose the women in here. I know I am. So, in advance, I know I'm going to lose some of y'all. I'm sitting next to this brother while I finish my message. The wife, you know, the woman, she just keeps on and 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 keeps on. Until finally Samson gives in and more, he is hard out. Watch this. Every man who tells you his secret isn't because it's coming from his heart. But if I were to list the judges, or some of the judges, and call out their names, Ehud and Shamgar and Tola and Jah and Deborah and Barak and Jephthah and Ibzan and Elon and Abdon, Abimelech, many of you would be unable to tell me who they were, the part they played in the life and the history of the nation of Israel, their significance to them. But if I say Samson, everybody knows Samson. The Sunday school sunshine child knows Samson. The drug dealer who don't even come to church knows Samson. The crackhead lining his pot can tell you about Samson and Delilah. I can't hear nobody in here. Everybody knows about the affair that Samson had with a woman named Delilah. Now Delilah, she's every woman's nightmare. Delilah is most men's fantasy. Delilah is, however, if you strip from Delilah the thoughts, the fantasies, the facades, the tantalizing temptation of Samson as he laid his head in her lap, you would find out very quickly that she ain't as beautiful as you think. She's treacherous. She's wicked. The truth of the matter is, one of her favorite actors, or used to be favorite actors, what's his first name? Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson and Glover starred in a series of movies called Lethal Weapon. I'm here to tell you, that's exactly what Delilah was. Delilah was a lethal weapon. Somebody holler, she's a lethal weapon. Why am I telling you about Delilah? It's because every one of you in here has a Delilah you're going to have to face. You have a weapon that's been assigned to your life. I'm not just talking about something that just happened. I'm talking about something or someone that's on assignment in your life. Because most of us read Judges 16 as if it's just a story.
My Lord. My, yes.
About a man meets girl. Girl and boy do stuff they ain't got no business doing.
Right.
Could be that maybe one of them had a momentary lapse of control. Maybe it was an oops moment. I knew better. But I went on a date with him anyway. I can't hear nobody in here. Touch somebody and tell them it's deeper than that.
It's deeper than that.
It's deeper than just the encounter of two ships that passed in the night. It's deeper than somebody just waiting to exhale. It's deeper than Stella just trying to get a groove back. Y'all ain't gonna help me, but I feel like preaching a little. Look at somebody and tell me it's deeper than that. This incident, this story, this episode in the life of Samson and Delilah is not inserted in the scripture just to warn you of the pitfalls of promiscuity. It's not just inserted so you can be aware of the dangers of the absence of self-abnegation and self-control. I believe that it's not just about a late night booty call. Oh, I wish I had some folk to talk to in here today. I'm trying to talk your language. Look at somebody and tell them, no, it's a lethal weapon. It's on assignment. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, if he were here today and he would be called the Terminator. He ain't the ultimate Terminator. Delilah is the ultimate Terminator. She doesn't have to be a woman. Because she could be a man. She could be an attitude. She could be, in fact, a weakness. The truth is that Delilahs are the things that make you cross the line.
That's right.
To a place that you said, I'd never do that. I'd never be caught with them. Never find myself in a particular circumstance or situation. Delilah is a spirit of depression. Sometimes you think you're just feeling bad emotionally. That's Delilah, because she knows if she pushes you to a dark place, you start making decisions you normally wouldn't make if you weren't in a dark place. Gets you discouraged so that now you feel lonely and frustrated and even suicidal. She's a lethal weapon. Somebody holler, she's a lethal weapon.
She's a lethal weapon.
Now, what's interesting is the Bible does not even give you a description of Delilah. I always assumed that and always taught she must have been a fine young thing. If Samson is the strongest man that we know, and y'all know how your blood pressure go up a little bit when you see a fine bug. I ain't talking to y'all folks that ain't real in here today. So that's exactly what's going to happen. You start fanning yourself. Help me Jesus. Help me Jesus. No description is given of Delilah. It does not even say she was beautiful. We don't know if she's fat or skinny. We don't know if she's a sister or not. We don't know about her eyes, her shape of her body. It does not give us any description because in the spirit, she can be whatever she needs to be in order to fulfill her assignment. See, you look in one way for her to be one thing, but she can be something to you that's different to you, that's different to you, and no description is given concerning her because she'll be what you want her to be. Some of us don't know that the propensity that's in our flesh is to do wrong. She examines us. She watches us. She looks for the source of your strength. My God, help me hear that. Somebody holler, she's a lethal weapon. She can be a position. One searches for in the church. You think it was God that raised you. It was Delilah that pushed you. See, every good gift comes from the Lord. But not every gift. There are gifts, and I'm going to mess with your theology on this one. I declare I am. The Bible says, but your gift makes room for you. And most of us have interpreted that as spiritual gift. But one translation of the Hebrew word says your bribe makes room for you. Sometimes what we don't get is it ain't God. It ain't never been God. It's been the orchestration of a lethal weapon to get you out of place so he can destroy your life. When one notes the chapter, Reverend Mother Dr. Joni Evans, it begins with Samson in a sexual dilemma with a prostitute. Watch this. The man of God
Talk to us, Bishop.
is with a prostitute. The man of God, his itinerary was such that the enemy knew where he was going to be. Y'all didn't read the book. They camped outside the house, knowing he was in there with a woman. Now watch what they did. They had one purpose for being outside the house. It wasn't to eavesdrop, hear what's going on. They were there to kill him. Look at somebody and tell them, there is an assignment on your life. I'm not talking about on God's side of the equation. I'm talking about on Satan's side of the equation. There's an assignment on your life. Now watch this. So he sleeps with this girl, and then I believe that God woke him up before the moment. Before the sleepiest time of the night. Men are drowsy at 4 in the morning. God woke him up at midnight. And he jumps out of bed, fresh out of sin. Because your gift you to jump out of bed and into the pulpit.
Fresh out of it.
Can I talk for just a moment? He rises at midnight and then he grabs the doors, the gates to the city with the bar attached on it, picks up the place of entrance and exit. I'll come back to that in a moment if I have time. Puts it on his shoulder, marches out so that the sleeping enemy, when they arise, they will see they're already defeated.
Right.
It's the man of God who just left the prostitute. And he's walking in victory. Help me, Jesus. Now, watch this. In Samson's mind,
My Lord.
he must have thought,
My Lord.
this ain't the first time.
See?
Because remember, if you read 2 chapters earlier, his parents said, don't be marrying these pagan girls. Don't go to the club and get you no wife. Hear Jesus. Go get one of them sanctified girls. Can I put a parenthetical pin here and warn you sisters for? Most men like to antique furniture. But they don't want to marry them
That's right.
Come on now.
that use furniture.
All right now.
Somebody didn't catch that. They don't mind using the furniture. So when they get ready to get them a wife,
That's right.
they come to the church. That's why you got to watch some of these brothers who come to that. Because they know that if they get you, you're going to be faithful. There's a vow you made to the Lord.
You better tell it.
And they counting on you to submit.